AJ, if you watch Inner Spaces, like, guys, check this one out. Like, it's so funny. So much fandom surrounding this show. Why do you think it's a show that connects with so many viewers?
I think that's a question for the audience. But my take on it is because I'm such a huge nerd and geek, and I'm such a fan of, you know, all this whole genre, everything. How crazy are we about Star Wars this year, first of all?
Yeah!
I was so upset that I couldn't go out on Force Friday yesterday and buy some toys. But it, you know, I am one of you guys when it comes to this stuff, and so when I go to work every day, even when it's at, you know, 3:30 in the morning and I feel like crap, I get so excited because it is an incredible sandbox to be in, and I think the reason why Marvel is so good at connecting to the people is because they're telling human stories in a fantastical world. It's about humanity, it's about connection, family, and learning whether you can, you know, trust and believe in people when they've turned on you, and just all those elements, and dealing with your own inner demons, which a lot of these characters deal with. So in that sense, I think, plus the explosions and the fight scenes and the humor, I think that all adds to it.
Well, it's the perfect time. I know you guys have some questions, so if you have some questions, we're actually going to do a line right starting there with Stefano. So if you guys are ready, yeah, that's perfect.
There we go, the running is started.
Only personal questions. I only answer personal, very personal questions.
Oh my God, you're the best.
I love the running, it's so fun.
All right.
Hurry up!
Yep, I'm so ready. Hi. My question is, so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a show that we're all so excited about. What scene or sequence or whatever from either season were you most excited to film, looking forward to?
Most excited? I would say the pilot. You know, just the fact that I got this great gig and I'm working with Joss Whedon. Let's hear it for Joss! And meeting all my co-stars and the crew and the team, and, you know, I'm flying a plane. Just stuff like that. I think the pilot episode was my most exciting. And then now every new season is always exciting. It's like going back to school. But better.
Hi, I've watched your show for a long time, since ER, and you're amazing.
We grew up together, you know? It's a long haul. Awesome.
I just want to know a couple questions. First of all, what's it like being a woman of color, in a sci-fi sort of set?
What do you mean?
I know a lot of Asian girls look up to you now that you're on S.H.I.E.L.D. It's fantastic to finally see a lot of women of color in these in sci-fi, because it's such a hard place for Asian and other people of color to break into. What are your thoughts on that? And also, are you involved in the prank war / shenanigans on set? Do you have a favorite?
Okay, one question at a time. No. It's always been a struggle as an Asian woman to break into the business in the first place, whether it's in any medium. And I think I've had the great fortune of having people who believe in me or wanting to hire me and work with me. And it is exciting. It thrills my heart. I mean, I just met a couple of girls today who, you know, just looking at their faces and feeling that connection that I've somehow either inspired them or, you know, gave them someone who can be a role model. I have a daughter of my own who really doesn't look up to me, I have to say. So I'm doing something wrong there. kidding. It is a wonderful perk of my profession. The whole idea of getting into this business was because I wanted to be part of a community and to be able to entertain people. And if you can entertain them and inspire them, that's just a great honor and perk. And as far as the pranks, no, I'm so serious on set. I'm a total professional. I would never ever try to prank my co-stars in any way. Oh, where did I put that whoopee cushion?
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is, since you haven't been in an Avengers movie yet, which kind of Avenger would you like?
Sucks.
Yeah, I know.
I say it.
really
I
does
say
suck.
it.
I think it sucks too. But if you were to be in a movie going forward, which I totally think you should be, which would you want to be in the Avengers, or which Avenger would you want to be in a movie with?
Okay, first of all, I'm a whore when it comes to work. I will take any job. So if anybody here, has something they can offer, I'll call. No, my ultimate dream to be in a Star Wars movie. Oh, I'm so close. Have you seen the Infinity 3 posters? They had a Marvel world, they had the Disney world, and then they had the Star Wars world, okay? Mulan is part of Infinity 3. May hasn't gotten there yet, but Mulan, but I'm in 2, I just need that one more! That'll be an all three. So, okay, everybody, now that you signed on to Instagram and Twitter, you need to let George Lucas, Disney, Star Wars, J.J. Abrams, anybody! I just want to walk on in a Star Wars film before I die. Okay,
Guys, we can
got
make that
that
happen.
And then, of course, any of the Marvel movies would be fabulous.
How are you?
Was that desperate? I think that sounded really. I told you I'm not May.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How were you able to relate to your character in your Agents of Field?
You mean May?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is one of my most challenging characters because she is such an antithesis of who I am when it comes to her personality. And because as you can tell, I talk a lot. And she doesn't. I smile and laugh a lot. She definitely doesn't. And I think it's about her her internal strength. That we have a lot in common, and also she hides her emotions, behind this shield. This armor of, I'm hoping that in season 3 she'll break through a little bit from it, but for me, I handle things in an opposite way, with humor, and because I think if you can't laugh at your troubles, then you're in trouble. So that's, those are certain elements that I think we really, and I'm so good at flying a plane and, jumping out of a plane and parachuting and kicking ass, yeah. Thank you. I'm lying. I just broke a nail today, too.
Hi. In early season 2, you did a fight scene between Agent May and Agent 33.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wondering how it was for you to learn both sides of the choreography and how you ended up filming it.
A lot of hard work, I'll be honest. That episode scared the bejesus out of me. It was, when I read it, I was like, yeah, this is so great. I can't, oh my goodness, and I have to ballroom dance too. And fight in heels, and then, Anne Foley, who I love dearly, she's our costume head of the show. show, designer, and she wanted to put me in this really sparkly, silver dress. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I have to fight in this, plus fighting in lingerie, which then scared me even more. So the whole episode was it freaked me out, but we trained for about 3 days, learned both sides of the choreography. I have an amazing stunt team headed by Tanner Gill, and we had, my stunt double was incredible. Actually, we had several stunt doubles because each one of them got to just wear the one outfit. They didn't have to switch back and forth between the lingerie and the silver dress like I did. So they had it a little easier, but we definitely had to coordinate everything and figure out, how to shoot that. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of work. And I chipped a couple of teeth because of it too. Yeah, because we were working it was like a 17-hour day, and we were all tired, and I didn't duck in time. Oh! I didn't. It's all fixed.
Oh, they look great.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm pretty badass.
That's serious cred.
I feel your pain because I lost a nail myself.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
know, but you just hate that it feels funny, and you need a
And it's
nail
annoying because I'm in
file.
costume right now.
I know.
So I'm not sure if you can tell all of us here in the audience, but can we expect that season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be connected with the upcoming Captain America Civil War?
Ooh. I rather answer a really, really personal question than that one, because then you might not see Agent May anymore.
Marvel effects are right behind this black curtain, I'm serious.
Yeah, you don't know, but there are people watching. I can't answer it. Sorry. Just tune in September 29th when we come back to season 3. Oh, you guys are going to be so blown away. I mean, it's a great season. Hello.
Hi.
Because who doesn't love Inhumans?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for Mulan, because not all of us were princess lovers, and that was my absolute favorite. Secondly, you've been in so many wonderful different genres of movies. What fairy tale character would you want to play if you got a chance to play any fairy tale character?
A tough question. What would you play, Morgan?
Oh, that is a really good question.
I mean, because they've all been played out. I mean, if I was like maybe 10 years, 15 years younger, they're doing a live action Mulan. I would love to have had that chance to play, I mean, maybe they could do Mulan the later years. What do you think? Awesome. It's a sequel. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Peter Pan. Yeah, that would be fun. Peter Pan. Yeah, but then again, yeah, later years. Peter Pan, later years. Okay.
I just wanted to say my mom loves you and you're the reason why she watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I was wondering who you think would win between a fight, Agent May or Mulan?
That is such a good question.
Wow. I think Mulan was like, Agent May's ancestry. So, yeah, it's in her blood. Probably Mulan. She's pretty cool. Oh, yeah.
Hi, it's lovely that you could come here, and we're
Lovely to be here.
Thank you.
Sort of. That guy's been looking at me funny.
My question is, are we going to see you in the Dub Smash Wars?
Well, you were in that, well, not the award, but you were in one of those.
it's been quite a fun. I'd rather answer a really personal question. I will say that there will be an ongoing showcase of it. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Clark Gregg and Chloe got into it with Haley Atwell and James Darcy of Agent Carter, another great Marvel show that's coming back. And they got into this thing called Dub Smash because Haley absolutely loves the Dub Smash stuff. And it all started at San Diego's Comic-Con, and then it became just this running thing between the four of them, and the cast got involved with one of them. But and now they're doing one for charity, so it's kind of fun. So now if you're on Twitter or Instagram, you would know. Yeah, you know this. Okay,
They're hilarious.
yes, hilarious.
Hi, so I just want to thank you for Mulan and all that as like an Asian woman as well. Just like being able to have that representation as a child was a really big deal. Also, a friend of Sam Joe says hi.
Who says hi?
A friend of Sam Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know Sammy.
My friend says no, Sammy.
Oh, your friend knows Sammy.
Yeah, she's over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sammy Joe is one of my amazing stunt women who was also part of the episode where Melinda May fought Agent 33. And now she's going off to pursue her own acting career. So she's not.
So my question is about Stargate Universe. In regards to either the plot or your character, how would you have liked the story to have progressed if it wasn't canceled?
Who cares? It's canceled. Just kidding. I think I would have loved to have seen her reunite with her loved one back on Earth and had an opportunity to fulfill whatever Destiny's destiny. Okay, the ship's name was Destiny. That's why I got a little confused there. Yeah, I think so. Because actually the character I played on Stargate Universe, to my surprise, was a lesbian. And I never played one before, and my husband was really, really happy about it. See, that's a personal answer.
So you went into the casting and you didn't know that was the character?
That was a big surprise for me, but it was cool. It was really, stuff like that makes my job fun and unpredictable. Completely.
So a couple weeks ago, Brett kind of dished on your Apple Box secrets when you're on the table to deal with your height and how you kind of fell off it at one point. I was wondering if you had any embarrassing stories about
Hydra. Get him! When I go back for those of you in the know and for those of you who aren't, Apple boxes are just basically boxes made out of wood. It's one of the oldest things that Hollywood uses for everything, and it's amazing. It's the only thing that I think has remained a staple in filming. And they have different sizes, quarter boxes, half boxes, full boxes, and because Brett is so tall, and I'm not, even in heels, a lot of times when we do close-ups, those extra like 2 or 3 inches really help the camera crew to be able to go back and forth more easily, or it just looks better. So a lot of times I have to use Apple boxes. Because I'm not that tall. I just look tall on camera. So, yeah. But yeah, I fall off of them all the time. Because I'm really a klutz. I'm so not Agent May. I'm going to just keep repeating that.
You fell off very gracefully, though, when you forget you're on them and go to step off.
Yeah. Because they build like 2 or 3 out, and sometimes you're walking around on them and you forget. So there should be actually a railing on this stage for me, just in case.
Hello,
Agent Coulson and of the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
No.
And a Comic-Con 2013 attendee. Hey, I first want to express my appreciation for all your work, Mulan, 2.5 Men, and Stargate Universe, and finally, Agent May. My question is,
My husband wasn't happy that I had to be in bed with Charlie Sheen. That's another personal.
Okay, my question is, how surprised were you to find out that it was Coulson who was behind Tahiti?
Well, actually, it wasn't. You know, it was actually Fury that was behind Tahiti, and Coulson found out about it. So, what's your question? Sorry.
When May dug up that USB and found that video footage, revealing that Coulson was the director on Tahiti at the guest house. That resulted in all the hypergraphy and carving and all that stuff.
Right. Well, Coulson was actually the victim of it because Fury made the decision to bring him back to life through this method. You need to rewatch that episode.
Oh yeah.
Rewatch that episode and then tweet me. I'll answer that question. You'll have a new question, I think. You got another one? No.
How much do you get told ahead of time, like where things are gonna go, or is it like you guys just all wait for the script to come in?
Is she funny in her signing? I'm just wondering. Are you funny in your signing? Because is the jokes coming through? Or does it get lost in translation?
I think it's good. He's saying, what's he saying?
Oh,
okay. There you go.
All right. Serious.
So what's it like for you when you get a script? Do people tell you, okay, this is where we're going with your character, this is what's happening here, or are you just as surprised as we are when you're getting like that script?
The latter. Yeah. Very seldom. I will give a little tidbit. My writer came up to me the other day and said, "Oh my goodness, there's some really great stuff coming up for you for HMA." I'm like, "Yeah, what?" That's all I can tell you. I'm like, "Do not tease me that way. It is so cruel." But they do that. They enjoy doing that, but they really can't give us anything. Occasionally, they will let us know a script beforehand, but that's about it. And I kind of enjoy it. This is our 3rd season into it, and for me, it's almost like opening up the next chapter of a great book. You don't know what's going to happen, and then you play accordingly to that.
Hi, I actually have 2 questions for you. I heard you collect bracelets, and I was wondering, could I give you one now because I actually have to run afterwards?
Of course, please.
And second question, when exactly did you decide you wanted to be an actress, and how was your parents' reaction to it?
My desire for acting started in 3rd grade when I did my first, play. It was an Easter play, and I played a bunny rabbit. That was really good. I got on stage and tripped and fell, and the audience laughed, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I got a reaction from the audience, and that was it, the acting bug bit. And then my parents thought, I wasn't really serious about it until I wanted to get, a good drama program under my belt, so I chose Carnegie Mellon because they have an incredible drama program. And my mother's reaction was basically, "Oh, America's so easy." She couldn't believe that you could actually get a degree in acting. So that kind of legitimized it a bit for her. But up until then, she wasn't very happy about it. Oh, so easy. Really? That's my Mom. Oh, thank you so much. Are you dressed as Melinda too? I love it.
So you cut your bracelet.
This started off as a fluky thing, again on Twitter, because some fans noticed that I wore beaded bracelets, and they said, oh, you like beaded bracelets? I'm like, oh, I love beaded bracelets. And then the next con I went to, like, all these fans started handing me beaded bracelets, and I was so amazed. So now, like, I feel like it's just such an amazing way to bond with the fans, because I do wear them all the time. And this one, actually, a fan made one with a shield little logo that I wear. But yeah, it's really great. And I collect one everywhere I go, so well, I got one from Toronto.
Yeah, it's a good lecture.
3 other ones right now, so.
Hi, Ming-Na.
Hi.
Mulan is one of my favorite movies, so I was wondering, what was the process of creating a voice for Ping? And do you have a favorite line from the movie?
I think with Ping, it just kind of was organic. We were just goofing around with certain ideas and, just trying to figure out what would be a guy voice for a young girl. And that just came about, from trial and error. But as far as my favorite line, it's actually my favorite song. For her, she's got several lines, but I think my favorite song is just, "I Follow Your Heart" from Stevie Wonder. Is it Stevie Wonder one? Yeah, be true to your heart. Yeah, that one. So.
I know Mulan doesn't say it, but you can stay forever at the very end of the movie. The grandmother. I'm sorry, it's not my favorite line ever. It has nothing to do with Mulan. I'm sorry.
Hi. My name's David. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm Asian, and
Come closer.
I had to become a stereotype. My parents forced me to become a doctor, but when I look at you,
I played one on TV.
you know how we know that ER is not really too realistic? It's because there's only one Asian on that show.
Stereotyping?
Actually, yeah, my question's about, so to me, your huge impact starts with the Joy Luck Club. And then you go on to Mulan and Street Fighter, where there are more, you're Asian, therefore you have to play an Asian role. And now you're in a role where you're awesome and you just happen to be Asian. I'm wondering, do you feel that you've helped pioneer, did you help establish a change in North American television, where you've gone from the Fu Manchu stereotype?
Well, I don't want to brag, but it's all because of me. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate your comments. I think I do have some, because I've been around so long and I've been working in Hollywood for so long, that I do feel that I am a pioneer. So
don't look like it.
No, that I've actually, have furthered the cause for more Asians, being seen. But ultimately, I never ever took it personally, because I always believed in economics and the power of economics. And a lot of times, it really is about what's going to sell. And because now television shows and movies, everything is so global and it's so international, and there are so many Asians in the world, that I feel, because of that, in combination with just, what's going on here in America about wanting more diversity, that it's really a combination. combination of all those things that's helped to bring more Asians into, into the limelight, which is great. I love it. Thank you.
This is in regards to your ER days. My dad was a doctor, so I know some of the medical. Did you have much problem understanding the medical terminology you had to do? And
I only played one. It's fascinating because we had amazing doctors and nurses on set to constantly teach us all the moves and all the procedures, and I remember the first time I learned to learn to stitch. I actually had to stitch on a real pork foot. I don't know why, but apparently the skin is very similar to human beings. So yeah, that was weird. And I'd rather cook it.
To use Raina's words, if you or any of your characters were an Inhuman, what would you want to become?
Power.
I could just make money appear anywhere, anytime. And then I could be able to give it to everybody. And bring peace to the world. So I win the crown.
Hi. So I have 2 questions, and the first one is if you could write or direct your own episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what would it be about and who would be in it?
Let's see. Chris Hemsworth as Thor comes to mind. And then of course, Jeremy Renner and Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans. All right. Basically, all the big movie stars would be in my show. I don't know. I would love to answer that question, but I just love to do acting. As ambitious as I am for other things, and as much as I love photography and the cinematics of working as a director, I don't know if I can handle the pressure that our directors go through, because we have to shoot an incredibly difficult show in 8 days, plus a 9th that we don't talk about. But it's really, really challenging, and if you knew the amount of work that all our set designers and set decorators and costume people and makeup and hair people, it's a lot of pressure, and I'm lazy. No, but yeah, I wouldn't do it given the opportunity. But I would cast all those people to be in my episode.
And my second question is, if you still remember, could you please recite the final admonition for Mulan?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That's so good. Now I'm gonna have to go back and memorize that damn thing. That's very good.
Hi.
Oh, hi, doggy.
It's Kira.
Hi, Kira.
My question is, when you were playing Agent May, you commented on this a little bit earlier, how your character mostly communicates with her eyes and subtle gestures. But what I want to know is, how hard was it not to crack up when Coulson had an entire conversation with you, and basically you said nothing, and his last remark was, well, good chat. Did it take you, more than one shot to do that?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun, and yeah, I crack up a lot. One of my notes that I get constantly from my directors or producers, writers, because usually the writer of the episode is on set and they're usually producers too, one of the producers, is the note I always get is less Ming, more May. Because I tend to crack up easily, so it's hard to play her sometimes. She's so serious. Thank you.
Maybe you need to crack up, to like release the tension of being so kind of, I don't want to say she's pent up, but very serious.
She's very serious. Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So, given the current state of the cinematic universe and the large amount of characters and TV shows being introduced every year, is there any character or TV show that you'd like May to interact with, or a specific character you'd like to go to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, Scandal. I think May and Pope would really be able to handle it. Yeah, so that would be kind of cool on ABC. And I just love Sandra Rhimes, so would just love to work with her. Talk about a woman with power. She is incredible.
Okay, guys, we just have time for a couple of more questions.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for all that you've done. My question is there any advice that you would give to yourself when you were younger? And what would you give to people today?
What advice would I give to myself if I time warp kind of thing? Such a personal question. I would tell myself to really appreciate youth and enjoy it, and not, and just look in the mirror and go, oh damn, she's pretty cute. Because I grew up with a sort of, not such a good image of who I was, because growing up in a white suburban neighborhood, being one of the only Asians, I wanted to be blonde and Caucasian like everybody else. And I think I was also, little, I don't know what I would give myself. I think I would just say that you're beautiful, you can do anything you want, and just enjoy youth. Yeah. Because I say that to myself now, every day. That's my affirmation, every day.
Hey, what lessons have you learned while working on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows you've been on, like ER and Stargate Universe?
What other what?
What lessons have you learned while working on the various sets you have worked on?
I learn all the time. On Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I learn stunt fighting, which I'm so honored by our stunt team, because it is an art form, We really don't hit each other. I'm sorry. Sometimes, by accident. I remember one time I punched a stunt double's abs by accident. Like, he kept going, just punch me, just punch me, don't worry about it. It's not gonna hurt. I punched him so hard, and I bruised all my knuckles. Because he really had hard abs. So I learned to pull back now. I don't really, go full all out, because I get too many bruises and they don't look pretty. So stunt fighting for sure on this show. I learned everything, from makeup and hair to special makeups. I'd love to learn to sew. I should hop over to wardrobe department and learn how to sew. But yeah. But I can't really operate on you guys from ER, just saying. Call 911.
I just wanted to say that I'm really excited that you're here, and I actually freaked out when I did the dance around the house, and if anyone was home, I would have gotten sent to a mental hospital. And my question is, who is your favorite co-star on S.H.I.E.L.D. from either season 1 or season 2, and why?
You're like giving me a Sophie's Choice moment here. I know you're too young to know what that means, but no, I love them all. I love them all very much. That's it.
Hi. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm really happy I got question.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from Montreal, and I hope you enjoyed your time in Montreal with your family.
It was
I
beautiful.
was 2 blocks away from you when you snapped that Hydra pic with the pillow, and I had to go to work, and I was like, oh, I should run back and try to find her. But I was like, oh, she's with her family. I don't want to embarrass her.
That is so. Well, now you're less than 2 blocks away from me.
Yes, I know. I'm so happy.
You're right here in the room.
So I have 2 very short questions. My first question is on the set of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. if you've ever had any cool pranks, either that you did or that you got caught by someone else. Like, you guys ever have really good chemistry and seem like fun people, so if you have that.
They don't dare pull pranks on me. Oh, now if I say that and if you tweet that, they'll probably be pulling pranks on me. Yeah. What was the other question? I'm sorry.
Well, the prank question, and then I think she's gonna ask the second question.
Oh, okay.
The second question is actually about Mulan. Do you think your personality influenced her as a character?